Hello, I'm Daniela. In a previous video, I shared with you my lung cancer diagnosis and the fact that I was starting this cancer journey where I was going through chemotherapy and treatment. And the output of support was overwhelming, and I genuinely want to thank you for your kind words and comments. I wanted to do a video on why I chose to shave my head before my cancer. Now, it's commonly known that chemotherapy causes hair loss in various patients, but not everyone. My doctor, my oncologist, when he was first meeting with me, was trying to prepare me for some of the side effects, and he did say that hair loss was one of them, and he thought, yeah, I'd probably lose my hair. Well, hearing those words, knowing what I knew about that, I had long blonde hair to start with, I decided I would get rid of the hair altogether and make it a non-issue for me. Now, it made it easier for me to make that choice. At least that's why I did it. I decided I didn't want to find hair laying around on my pillow or in my car or my home. I was going to cut my hair, shave my head in fact, and go into battle for the cancer. Shaving my head was a little empowering. It was my choice. It was something I was doing. Whereas so much that involved with the cancer and the treatment and the surgeries were things I felt I had to do to survive. Shaving my head allowed me to really focus on things other than if my hair was washed or combed and this type of thing. After I did that, after I shaved my head, and actually it was my husband who was kind enough to shave my head for me, I encountered other things. I do not regret shaving my head. It's growing out now, and it grows a little more each day. But encountering other people and their reaction to a woman with a shaved head was kind of interesting. Overall, people were very supportive. Your comments online on the few videos I posted with my shaved head and growth further were very supportive, which I appreciate. In real life, people were kind as well, but most people would see me and look away. At first, because it was winter down here in Florida, it was still a little cool. I wore a scarf on my head or a hat. And then when I go for walks in the bright sun, I wear like a baseball cap or a sun hat to protect my head. But that scarf, I realized, I was wearing inside the house, and I didn't want to be ashamed of it. There really wasn't any difference between me being bald or me having a scarf, in my opinion, because I still looked like a bald woman with just fabric on my head. A lot of people were very supportive. What surprised me most is the people that I have known for years would sometimes run into me outside the home and they didn't recognize me. And truthfully, that hurt a little bit, just because I knew it was them instantly, but I understood where they were coming from. They were all very kind and supportive, but it still was another indicator that I was different, that the cancer had made me different. And that is a difficult pill to swallow, even though that's the reality. Also, I realized that I had kind of been hiding behind my hair. I enjoyed having long hair, I enjoyed styling it, which I didn't do very often, and it was just who I was for so long. So shaving it really exposed me underneath, and I was very vulnerable by that. Another issue was that when people saw a bald woman, they knew instantly it was cancer. There was nowhere I could hide. It was a constant reminder that I was dealing with cancer. And that was very difficult because I spent a good portion of my time dealing with that cancer and then getting that feedback from others. And they did not mean it anything maliciously. They meant it supportively, or just that was their natural reaction. And I do understand that. Now that my hair's growing back, it's going through some awkward stages, I love that I shaved my head. I love that I didn't have to worry about hair loss or hair upkeep. It looks like I probably wouldn't have lost my hair, but I still would have shaved it, knowing what I know now. It's interesting the way each of us perceives our own identity, and not having hair kind of changed that for me. I know every time I looked in the mirror, I thought my father was looking back at me because we look very much alike, especially now that we have the same haircut. So there was that. But that's the reason I chose to shave my head. Some people don't want to shave their head. I understand that and respect that as well. Some people choose not to have the chemotherapy for fear that they could lose their hair. That is ultimately their choice, but that does sadden me because there is so much more to a person than one feature of their appearance. Now, some of you might ask, well, did you try wigs or anything like that? And I did, and I do have wigs. However, my head was very sensitive after I had shaved it. It always felt like it was wet, like I had a full head of wet hair in the winter time that was. And when I wore the wig, it itched, it got hot, it needed to be cleaned. The whole point of me shaving my head was to eliminate that upkeep. So I didn't wear the wigs except for one day. It was kind of an interesting process. It was a little tough at times for me, but I manned up and figured out what I had to do. So I am very happy with my choice. I'm not trying to encourage others to do anything that they don't want to do. But if you're uncertain, and if these things seem like something that, well, may affect you that way, well, that's an option as well. I want to thank you for all your support. In the future, now that my hair's coming back, I may go blonde again, or I might just experiment with different styles. I do like it short, but I don't know. It's hair. One way or the other, it's just hair. I want to thank you once again for your support, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe. Thank you for joining me today.